Yo, it's good everyone. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about what no one tells you about appointment setting. Okay, so you guys have been following me for a while. Maybe some of you are new. I know some of you, there's a lot of newcomers, okay, and they're hearing about appointment setting. They want to know what it's about, how does it work, etc. But what I'm going to tell you today is what no one actually is telling you about this industry, about this, this remote way of making money online. This is what I've been doing for the past couple of years now. Let's get into it, all right? So the first thing, I will unroll this. The first thing that no one tells you, and this is not in order of importance, it could be, but I'm gonna just not do it in importance. All three of these tips I'm gonna tell you is super important. And the first thing is it'll take you many tries until you land a solid offer. Okay, that's the first thing. It'll take many tries for you to land a solid offer. Now, there are exceptions. Don't you dare comment. I know there is such thing as nuance and exceptions, okay? And I'm here to tell you that I am aware of that. There are nuances and exceptions, okay? Your first position might be amazing and you just hit your stride from there. It's amazing, good commission, good structure, good lead flow, everything's good, okay? So that's an exception. Let's say it's the complete opposite. For another person's case, they cycle through like 6 to 7 offers until they finally land a good one. Because there's a lot of people can land on different ends of the spectrum, but what most people will tell you is like, hey, you'll land, here's your position, it's going to be so easy to land one, it's going to be amazing, first time at it, and then it just simply isn't the case most of the time, as I said. Like, from what I've seen on average, it'll take, a beginner, so taking a complete beginner, someone who's like, doesn't have experience, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 positions to cycle through until they find the top-notch one on average. Okay, so you might have to start off and it's kind of like you're working your way up the hierarchy, okay? Like you're starting off, you don't know what you're doing, you have no experience, therefore you have no leverage. And we're gonna talk about leverage later on in a minute. But you're starting off, you don't have much experience, maybe you watched a couple of YouTube videos online like mine, and you're ready to give this a shot. Your first position might be super, super crappy. You find out on the Facebook group, the commissions are okay, the lead flow isn't great, the business is just pretty average, right? But you work hard and you do what you can anyway. And then after a month in that position, you decided enough is enough. You don't want to do it anymore. You hop on another one, and then this one might be a bit better. Okay, better lead flow, better commission, better everything, but not that much better. It's still not where you want it to be. You stay there for a couple more weeks or months, and then the cycle repeats, and you're just working your way up. And then it could be up and down. It could be like, let's say the first position isn't very great, the second one happens to be amazing, but for whatever reason, you get kicked from it or something happens, now you have to find your third position, that one is trash. So it's ups and downs, okay? And while it's not glamorous, while it's not what most people will tell you because they just want to paint the picture of how amazing appointment setting is, and it is amazing, don't get me wrong, like I wouldn't be making videos about it or building my brand around it if it wasn't amazing. It changed my life, certainly. It changed the lives of lots of other people. So I'm not here to say and shit on appointment setting, because I would be like going against everything I believe in. But what I will say is just set the expectation that you might have to run through a couple different offers at a time to actually find the one that works for you and that you see fit the most, okay? Another thing here is, like as I said, even then it might take time for it to click and get the ball rolling. The moment you recognize red flags and it starts to go south, move on. So, like I said earlier, you get in your first position, it's not great, but at least you've got an experience. But then what you could do is, you've gotten your experience, maybe you've made a couple commission here and there, maybe you don't, that's fine. At least now, what you had over who you were in the beginning is experience. You have leverage. You can actually say to the next person you're applying to that, hey, this is what I did, and then this is how it went, okay? So that's experience, compared to if you just went to the position, to the business owner, and you just came in, you had no experience, nothing on your resume, okay? And then you just rinse and repeat this. I'm not saying to, just rinse and repeat, hop on, hop off all the time. Kind of, but what I'm trying to say is like, you can build your experience, you can build your resume. If the position you see is good long-term, then stay on it. Don't quit it. If you see potential long-term in it, then stay on it. But what some people do, and just to speed up the process quicker, the moment you recognize red flags and starts to go south, just hop off. And then, you will eventually find the position that clicks for you. So that's the first thing. It'll take you many tries until you land a solid offer. The second thing that people don't tell you about appointment setting, they don't tell you about leverage, and they don't tell you how to stand out from the crowd. So as you know, appointment setting has just spiked in popularity over these past, whoa, what's going on? Over the past year, 2 years now, right? Everyone in the grandma seems to want to get into it, and it's for good reason, right? So what no one's gonna tell you, and what I'm gonna tell you today, is about leverage and how to actually stand out from the crowd. How do I actually stand out from the other people trying to get into that position? How am I gonna stand out from the other setters on my team? You know, how am I actually gonna get business owners to notice me and actually pick me as the top choice? So all leverage means, one way to put it is options. When you have the leverage, that means you have options. When someone has options, whoever has the most options has the most leverage. They have the most choice, they have the most power, they have the most authority. A business owner has a ton of leverage because they can just put a post out saying they're hiring a setter, and then 50, 60, 70, 100 people will just hit their DMs like that. That's leverage right there. But how do we, as a person, as a setter, flip the table, flip the script, and get leverage on us? So one way is volume, and then another way is, as I said here, join communities, mentorships, any high quality groups you might be looking for setters, personal brand. The reason I say this is because it is all about positioning yourself in the right rooms. It is about positioning yourself correctly. If you throw yourself in a position, this is what most people do, right? And as I said, I preach this on the channel a lot. Volume is great. It's super important. It's pivotal. It's what you need to do. You need to put in mass amounts of volume and work harder than no one else. But most people will do, they have no leverage. They're just another setter, another person trying to get into this game. And then they'll reach out, and there's just not going to be no response from the setter, and then they give up. From the business owner, I mean. So they're going to do their standard outreach, and then that's that. The way you build leverage here, and my last video actually goes over how I landed my 3 appointment setting positions, even the current one that I'm on right now, and then my past ones. You can go check that out up here. But essentially, the way I landed those 3 positions was all because I used leverage and positioning to my advantage. So, like, if you watched the last video, I talked about how the first position that I landed, which was amazing, changed my life. I was already friends with the person. We had the same mentor. I was in a mentorship group. We already knew each other. So all it took was like a couple messages back and forth. And we started working together. Why? Because, like, for example, as I said, mentorships, join communities, any way to position yourself correctly. Position yourself in front of the people who actually have what you want. The people who are actually looking for setters. The people who actually have good opportunities for you. Okay? And then you might be saying, like, Matt, what if, don't I have to pay, right? Don't I have to invest like lots of money to join mentorships and communities? Yes, that's correct. Some of them, like I know I had to, and it's benefited my life in every way possible. Maybe not all the time, maybe not to the extent that I expected to, but it's benefited my life in some way, shape, or form. So I've never regretted any investment that I've made up until now, okay? And then you don't have to spend thousands as well. Like, there's different things for different people. Like, you don't have to spend thousands to join someone's mentorship group. There's like low ticket communities, there's like communities you can join for like as low as $15 per month, like $30 per month, $40 per month, whatever. It doesn't cost that much, right? But because there's a price barrier to entry, that's automatically gonna separate the high quality people and the low quality people. Low quality, and I'm not saying this is a generalization, not everyone in the free group is low quality, but you know what I mean, okay? So do what you need to do. You know, the game is the game. Join these groups, get in front of as many people as possible, network, and actually network properly, you know, shake as many hands as possible. And then before you know it, you'll be surprised, like a guy knows a guy who knows a guy who's looking for a setter, and then it's a great opportunity, you know, a couple DMs back and forth, and then boom, you got your position right there. So that's that. And also, watch my most powerful outreach method video to stand out. So I'll link it up here. And actually implement it. If you haven't watched the video yet, what the most powerful outreach method is using video outreach. You get your phone or a camera, because most people will just send a cold DM. They'll send like a generic paragraph about how they want to be a setter, how they're looking for an opportunity, and that they work hard. Okay, we get it. So does the 30 and the 40 and the 50 other people in my inbox. do, right? So how are you gonna stand out from that? Like 50 people, 43, 30, 40 people is gonna send the same message, same generic message. You, on the other hand, if you actually implement this and actually get over yourself, you're gonna film and you're gonna make a video introduction. You're gonna say, hey, my name is such and such, looking for a position. This is my past experience. If you have any, this is what I can bring to the table. I'd love to do this with you. Let me know, reply back to me if you're interested. Boom. Even if the video is not 100% to your liking, like it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect. Why? Because that alone will garner enough respect that you went out of your way to film a video, to do a video outreach and actually personally reach out to them, okay? That's gonna garner you so much respect, and then that's gonna help you stand out. They're actually gonna wanna open the message, because you can't just, I don't think you can at least, you can't just play the video and not open the message, right? So they have to hear what you say. And then, yeah, try that out. I made a video about that and actually implement it, all right? Don't be scared on camera. If you want what you want, you have to do the things that will get you there, okay? So no one tells you about leverage and how to stand out, how to actually use it properly. So the last thing that no one's gonna tell you is the importance of setter and team relationship. Like, this is super, super, super underrated. Super underrated. I'm surprised almost no one talks about this, right? So like, the fact that I'm talking about this should say something, okay? Not to toot my own horn, but your opportunities, okay, your position, like whatever you're working as, your setting position, your opportunities are and will only be as good as the business is. Communication is everything, and make sure they've got the right systems in place. Working with the team you love will only skyrocket your growth further. So what I mean by that, if you're in a position and you just hate working there, you don't respect the founder doesn't respect you, there's no communication between you, the closer, or the founder, or everyone in the team, then it's only going to go downhill from there, okay? Your opportunities are and only will be as good as the business is. So however well the business does, most of the time you're never gonna, let's say 100%, let's say the business is operating at 100%. You as a setter or a closer or whatever, or a team member, is only gonna operate at a fraction of what they're operating. So if they're operating at 100%, you're gonna be operating at like 60, 70% or lower, okay? Like, obviously, if like in logical terms, if they sign a client for 3K, you're only getting like a percentage, right? So that's another way to look at it. So if the business's lead flow is trash, if let's say the business has good lead flow, high ticket package, good frameworks, good trainings, good team, like mindset, everything's top notch. If you just get a piece of the pie of that, you'll still be winning, if that makes sense. Compared to, let's say you take a business with crappy lead flow, they're barely getting in leads and they don't have a system in place, their frameworks don't work, their commission is trash, their product is low ticket, then remember, you're only getting a fraction of what they're operating. You're only getting a fraction of what they're getting. And then what's that going to turn into? It's going to turn into peanuts. You're going to be getting nothing. You'll be wasting your time at this point. So picking the position that you're in is important. Make sure that the business is operating at a high standard. They're always leveling up. They're raising their standards as well. And they're forcing you to raise your own standards too, month after month. No one gets complacent. No one gets comfortable. Communication is everything, as I said. So the right systems in place, being like, if you're like, where is the whole team being hosted? Most of the time it's going to be on Slack. What automations, what systems are in place, so you can actually stay up to date and everyone knows what's going on. So is there a place where you can see all the booked calls? Is there a place where you can track like which lead was set by who, what happened to the lead, did they close, any notes regarding that specific lead, how were they like on the call, were they qualified, unqualified, any notes to improve, anywhere, and just keeping communication so everyone knows what's going on at the end of the day. That is super important. It sounds like common sense, but you'd be surprised how messy it gets or how like blurry the lines get between the team, between the setter, between the founder, between the closer, and no one knows what's going on. Now people are pointing fingers at each other, and then like no one wants to take responsibility, where you could just have the right systems in place so everyone can see the numbers, everyone can see what's actually going on, and then improve as a business from there. Okay, And then working with a team you love will only skyrocket your growth further. Like all the 3 positions that I've been in the past and now as well, I can afford to be, well, I want to be careful saying that, but I've been more selective with like the positions I hop on. I don't really like hopping on positions just for the sake of it anymore, at least at this stage now. But all 3 of the positions that I've worked on, I've absolutely loved it, and they've all ended on a good note, the past ones at least. But every time I was there, I loved it, got along amazingly with the founders, with the closers, with the whole team in general. And yeah, that just helped boost morale, just helped like be more motivated as a setter. It motivated them more. Things like bonuses helps too. Whatever it is, if they're running at a high standard, it's gonna rub off on you. Environment is everything, and yeah, it's a massive bonus. If you find a position like that, then that's a keeper for sure. All right, so that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. These are the 3 things that no one will tell you, and I've told you now today. I hope you learned a lot in today's video, and yeah, just be careful out there. Just be careful out there, and take these tips in mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Lastly, this month I'm gonna mentor one of you guys. Link is in the description to apply. Only 1 slot for this month because setting is still my main priority. So I want to make sure I knock it out of the park with this lucky person who decides to hop on the mentorship with me. Next 12 weeks. I'll go over more in the future what it entails exactly, or you can see my recent community post, and it's a rough breakdown on what you get. But yeah, looking forward to mentoring one of you guys. I'll be helping you out, and basically teaching you everything that I've learned up until this point, and hopefully get you in the same position I'm in too at this point. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.